Yeah, you heard me. Yes, I can base this off one preseason game. Yes, I can. Paul Swayman's deal. We don't need him. Hey. No, we don't, okay? We don't need the guy. He wants a sunken treasure for a contract. We don't have it. He can sit for a year. See if it feels different next summer. Dude. I'm telling you, because Korpisalo has looked so good. Dude, okay, all right, hold on. Hold on! What? Just before you do this, I just want to remind you of Korpisalo's career stats. Seriously? That's why you're interrupting my call? Just to show me some stats? Raise Swayman's offer by $1 million. Oh, I'm flip-flopping. Yeah? I'm about to flip-flop up the backside of your head if you don't get it done. Why are you helping me?
Honestly, I just think it'd be really funny if Ullmark outperformed Swayman this year.
Huh. I actually respect something you did. Weird. Low-quality fans of a high-quality Bruins team. That is not a dub. No, it's not. But hey, Michkov looked really good. That's not one of ours. No, Michkov, you know who he is. Flyers' new superstar rookie actually looked really, really great. I'm not even talking about the overtime goal, just in general. Every time he was in the offensive zone, really good. Good for them, I guess. Whatever. This game had a lot of entertainment value to it. It was fun. People have already kind of messaged me about the lopsided totals in scoring chances and shots and possession time and all this kind of stuff. Pretty hard to read into that when they had 7 power plays, 8 maybe. I think it was 7. I think it ended at 7. I'll double check. Yeah, they had 7 power plays, which most of them were deserved. The Bruins deserved about 7 as well. There was a lot of high hits, a lot of cross-checking, a lot of high sticking that just did not get called. I'm not going to actually sit here and complain about refereeing in a preseason game, but if we're talking performance of everybody involved, the refs probably want to clean some stuff up before they get to the regular season, because that was pretty dang brutal to watch. Just like the other preseason games, we're not doing a full bit by bit here. We're going to talk about the players individually and what they brought. We can actually lump a bunch of them together real quick, too, because Monday is when I expect the first round of cuts to come, and I expect there to be a lot of them. And players who played in this game who are likely going to get cut would be Tufte, would be Abate, Nelson, would be Brunet and Edward. Although Brunet and Edward, I thought they had highs and lows. They were fun to watch. Both of them with their passing was exceptional, I thought, for a lot of it. Their awareness for both of them, again, pretty brutal in moments as well. But you can expect most of those players, I think, to get moved down to the AHL. Koepke is a question mark for me because he's looked really good. Lettieri is one of those vets that I think will stay in longer for the camp. Merkulov, I think, is going to stick around for a little while. And then, obviously, the rest of them. Oh, and then Sweezy, who's still a bit of a question mark. But I hope he gets 1 or 2 more games. That'd be kind of fun for me. He actually had his first game where there were moments where it was like, not great. Not great. The lines are as follows. Freddie, Patra, Geeky, Tufte, Merkulov, Lettieri, Beecher, Brown, Lysell. There we go. Get it right. Abate, Nelson, Koepke. Lindholm, Peak, Lohrei, Sweezy, Brunet, Edward, Korpisalo. And Korpisalo did play the whole game. And spoiler alert, he was fantastic. A 9.25 on 40-something shots. Awesome. Let's start with him. Let's start with Korpisalo. Because I didn't think every goal was his fault. Obviously, the last goal was just a one-on-one, and he got beat. That's going to happen every now and again, and that was a hell of a shot. I'm not really that worried about that. The other goals that he let in, for the most part, I didn't think were solely on him, particularly the first Michkov goal, which was a backdoor tap-in, that Lohrei should have been way more aware of there being a player right behind him, and also shouldn't have moved his stick out of the passing lane at the exact same time that Sweezy did. That was weird. Regardless, Korpisalo was awesome. He was athletic. He was tracking the puck really well. His rebound control was pretty good. I'm not going to say it was perfect, because it certainly wasn't, but it was good. This has looked through the 7 shots he faced in Game 2, and then the 40-something shots he faced tonight, many of them on a power play setting. This has been about as good a start as you could ask for Korpisalo right now. Do I expect him to continue this to this level? No, that would be unreasonable. Not to mention it's preseason and not everyone's going 100%. All that being said, though, we would be having a very different conversation if he didn't look good. So let's have a nice conversation about how he does look good. And please, for the love of God, I know it's the preseason. The amount of people who talk about, like, it's just the preseason, you're overreacting, all this kind of stuff. What do you think I'm commenting on, man? It's the preseason. Where? I do the same thing on Twitter. I talk about a period, and someone's like, that player's great. What are you talking about? I'm like, this period, he didn't look good. That's all it is. People have a real hard time figuring this stuff out. It's the preseason. I know it's the preseason. Korpisalo looks really good. If he didn't, we'd be very concerned. But this starts to ease a little bit of concern. Yes, no one who could be backing him up right now has looked good in preseason. But we can be pretty happy with Korpisalo's effort and his results, frankly, so far. So, good stuff there. No reason to get overly concerned with the Swayman situation. You actually can be kind of concerned. But I still think it gets done. I am officially genuinely surprised it hasn't gotten done yet. I mean, it's September 28th. I was very confident through the offseason. I was very confident when camp began. I am genuinely surprised we're still not done with the Swayman stuff. I'm not mad at either side yet. I'll figure that out when we get to October 8th, if we get there without the signing. Couple names that we can also just kind of boosh off to the side. Peak looked really good, really steady. We very much know what Peak is, though, and I'm not really worried about how he performs in the preseason. I thought he had some highs and lows in this one, but for the most part was fine. Lindholm, going pretty half speed, but had some really nice offensive moments. Defensively, he was kind of drifting at moments, but again, I'm not really worried about Lindholm. Same can be said for Beecher, who was using his speed well and had some really nice moments, and then had some shifts that he completely took off, which I've been critical about Beecher in the past, but that is not something that's super prevalent in his game. So again, just not stuff I'm really worried about. Brown, I cannot wait to no longer be on this team, but he's not going to get cut right away. We know that. He's a vet that's going to be latching on like a little sucker fish on the bottom of a whale. Just, he's there. Thank you, Brown. Maybe I should cut that. Someone's going to clip that. It's fine. Let's talk about the guys that we actually need to talk about. Morgan Geeky looks awful. He does. I'm not gonna start bashing Geeky, but boy, the black holedness of his offensive zone game is just what verbiage would you use for this? What adjective would you use for this? It's atrocious. The guy just chucks the puck to the other team all the time. I cannot speak tonight. I don't know what's going on. He just turns it over, and he'll possess, and he'll have vision, and like you see what he's trying to do, and then just flubs it. I don't know what's wrong with the guy. It's a preseason game. I'm not going to react like this. I'm going to wait till the regular season so I can continue exactly last year's conversation about how Morgan Geeky drives me insane. He's an important part of this team too. Like, I'm never going to stop with that part of the conversation of Morgan Geeky is important to the Boston Bruins. He's a utility player who is very talented and very much belongs to the squad. He just drives me nuts. Oh, there was something I wanted to say about Lysell. Get it right, Lysell. Which we should have this conversation anyway, because Lysell is the one you're really concerned about. Why have his line mates so far been Tufty Nelson, Koepke Farinacci, and then today, Beecher Brown? That doesn't seem right? Like, I don't want to baby this guy. I don't want to hold his hand into the league and be like, you get to work with superstars in every shift because you're going to be great. No. But why not put him with Patra and Freddie rather than have Geeky up there? Like, wouldn't that have been more interesting to see? Isn't that kind of what you're trying to see, if he can be on that next level? And frankly, this was his best game of the preseason. He was fantastic in a lot of ways. His vision continues to impress. His speed's phenomenal. His skating ability in general is just fantastic. His neutral zone back-checking continues to be one of the glowing parts of his game, where people just don't see him coming. And he takes the puck right off their stick, or he intercepts the pass that they're trying to make through the neutral zone. I've really enjoyed that. Why isn't he working with more talented guys? Beecher and Brown have both been in the NHL, so you can certainly push back on this, but why not have him with higher profile players? Again, I don't want to hold his hand. I'm not actually that upset about it, but I would have just liked to see that at this point in camp. He's going to get another game, and he's going to be with higher caliber talent. It's going to happen, but this is his third game. Give him some stuff to work with. Although they did give him Beecher with his speed, that was certainly a complimentary piece. So I'm really just being a whiny little jerk right now, and that's what this is. It was his best game though, like by far his best game, and it's starting to look like that little pencil putting him in the lineup is getting darker and darker. I'm not grabbing a Sharpie yet, but you know I'm thinking about it. He does look really good. Patra also looks very, very good. The guy needs to keep his head up to avoid some of these bigger hits. But beyond that, he's awesome at forcing turnovers in their zone. He's got great vision consistently. He's winning board battles. He's squirrely with the puck. He possesses the puck well. What can you not like about his game? And the conversation about him starting the AHL, which was very valid at the time because he hadn't played hockey in almost 10 months, that's gone at this point. But the problem I see there is, like, okay, is he your second right wing? Which I don't love that fit. I understand it, but I don't want him on the wall as much as he'll have to be as a winger. Centers go to the wall too, but you know what I mean. But if he's there, if he's at second right wing, does that bump Lysell down the line? Or does that bump Lysell out of the roster altogether? I don't think so. Obviously, Lysell will probably bump down one line, and then you have Freddie on the third, and you have Geeky on the third, or you have Brazeau on the left side, or something along those lines. But we already talked about how there's 10 guys going for 9 spots there. Realistically, 10 guys for 9 spots. Add in Merkulov, there's your 11th. But one of them looks like he's locked in, right? Patra looks like he's locked to a top 9 role. You would never put him on the 4th, and he looks too good that you can't move him down. All right. Well, you've got Zaka, and you've got Lindholm, and you've got Pasta on the top line. And then you have Marchand, and you have Coyle. So there's Patra on your right. And then you have Brazeau, Freddie, Geeky. Well, that's not going to work, because where does Lysell go? Okay, you do Geeky on the left, Freddie on the left, Geeky in the middle, and then Lysell on the right. That's not a line I'm in love with, but it bumps Brazeau out too. And Brazeau, who's good in a 4th line role as well, I just think that his finishing ability has showed that he should be in the 3rd line, if he can be. It just really pushes things down in a way that you don't actually always love. Because although you want the most talented top 9 you can get, obviously, you love that internal competition. But it would kind of suck to have somebody pushed out of the lineup or pushed to the 4th line that doesn't really fit there that well. Brazeau's a big body. He can bang bodies with the grinders. But he had just performed really well in that 3rd line capacity, especially in the net front presence. 4th liners don't spend a ton of time in the offensive zone, or on the ice for that matter. So it's just a tough situation that you're really pushing someone out. This is just me being a weepy fan, obviously. But there's some real talent that's going to get pushed around. Lysell has to truly displace someone the more you talk about this, because Patra seems like a lock. Which is going to bring us to our next conversation. Georgi Merkulov. His path just looks impossible. His path looks impossible. There's somebody that I follow on Twitter with the handle Hellhammer, who goes to basically like all these practices at Warrior and watches consistently and listens to what they're saying. And she was talking about how Merkulov at camp, which I'm not able to be at, is consistently impressed. During the drills, during the scrimmages, just looks great. And she was saying tonight that it hasn't translated to the game, which... Well, there's 2 lines of thought, because I don't think she means it hasn't translated to the game, because Merkulov has looked damn good. I think Merkulov has looked really good. Yes, he's a little undersized, but his vision's there, his tenacity's there, he's winning pucks, he's making plays, he's creating scoring chances. Not a lot to dislike. The problem is, he's not showing up on the score sheet at all. And for him to displace somebody, you need to either show up on the score sheet or be absolutely snake bitten, but you're creating an absorbent amount of chances. He's not doing either of those two things. He's getting pushed out. The left side's tough. There's a ton of guys vying for left side minutes. Ton of guys vying for the bottom 6 center roles. It's really tough to force your way in, especially when you have truly established guys ahead of you. But with Lysell, get it right, and Patra making the team, which is how it looks so far, it truly leaves no room because he's not a fourth liner. It doesn't make any sense to put him on the fourth line. He'll get sent to the AHL, and that'll be a bummer. It'll be a bummer for him. It'll be a bummer for us. I really like the guy. I'm wearing his Pravi jersey right now. It's not the end of the world. He'll be a quick call-up if someone in the middle 6 gets hurt, particularly on the left side. But all that good work at camp, and I've looked this up as well from other sources, that yes, he's done really well through camp. It's just not translating to the games at a high enough level for him to displace anybody. And I think that's going to be a bummer. I think that is. Obviously, it's still early. I don't expect him to be part of the first cuts, but he needs something much bigger from the next couple of games if he's going to lock himself into a role. It's just what it is. Reality's harsh, man. It's tough out here. It's a bummer. I'm really rooting for the guy, but I just don't see a path. I think it's getting bleaker and bleaker for him to actually make it the better these other guys perform. Other names to mention, I don't think we talked much about Trent Frederick, but he looks fine. He actually quietly impacted the game quite a bit, which is kind of his style anyway. So I'm pretty happy with what he was doing. Again, not full speed, I don't think. Patra looked awesome. I mentioned that already. Lohrei. I'm so excited to watch a full season of Lohrei. His confidence is stupid. And it's stupid. The problem is it's stupid and it's stupid. It's stupid in the way that, dude, you're nuts and it's awesome. But it's also stupid in the way that, dude, are you an idiot? Like, how many times did he lose the puck trying to deke through 3 guys? You have Sweezy on your line, dude. You're going to leave him out to dry so that you can go try a net front rush by yourself through a full defense? What are you doing? I just complimented Lohrei at the other video about how he's matured on the blue line and he's not turning the puck over, creating fast breaks the other way. That kind of continued. There weren't a lot of fast breaks that came from his turnovers, but he is trying to do a lot. His passing's good enough that he doesn't have to do that all the time. There were just a lot of moments where it was stupid, but it was also stupid. So it's kind of a mixed bag with him. Obviously, very excited about a full season from him. All in all, this is a really good game. And I know that the numbers look very lopsided, but there's a lot of penalties that, were a little loosey-goosey, and then on the other end, a lot of stuff that didn't get called that was blatant. I'm not going to sit here and complain about the refs. It's just a preseason game. But don't look at the box scores and the numbers of this one and be like, wow, we got run around. That's not really, in my opinion, that's not really what happened. Thanks again for watching, though. Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. And I think we're deep enough into the preseason where people can start saying who they think should make the team. Let's see it. Comments below if you're still here at the end of the video. Let's see what your lineup should be. Or if there's any surprises in your mind. Go Bees. Go Bees! Of course, we have to give a huge thank you to everyone who's supporting this channel, especially the high-quality inspectors, our top-line tier members, Chris and Erica, Jeff with a G, Tommy Braga, The Bugman, Roland22, GD Viperworks, Len Cruz, Moonlighter TV, Brock Nope, Han Slomo, Coach D, The Atomic Lizard, Bradley Johnson, Aaron Adams, Brett Arney, Pincent, and Nick Citrullo. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. You're all studs and studettes. And of course, a huge thank you to the Stallions, our all-star tier members, Joel, Doots42, Heil E. Coyote, Darren Woodbury, Abraxion, John Kirk, Michael DiPaolo, Wolf Warrior, Vinny, Adrian Winter, Tupton D. Tashi, Jacob Pratt, Bruins Smash, DeKingery, The Only Newts, A Tasty Snack, and Jeremy. You are all absolute legends. I appreciate you eternally. And as usual, go Bees!